Yes, thank you very much, and it's a really great pleasure to be here with you again. I participated last October, and it's a really great to see you and hear all the ideas and thoughts, and maybe come back to some issues that we discussed last time. I think it's always worth to do that until we get things right. And I'm very glad to share with you some perspectives from Finland. Well, we have a long tradition, as I think I said last time, and history of promoting gender equality in Finland, and though we still have some shortcomings, as was already mentioned here also today, I think we have a relatively good record in some basic aspects of gender equality in our society, and for example, the women's employment rate is relatively high and very close to that of men in Finland, and on average, we can say that Finnish women are more highly educated than the Finnish men at the moment. And Commissioner Gabriel mentioned the digital skills and the women's participation in digital society. This is something that we very much pay attention to, and we were very happy to see that in the Women in Digital scoreboard from last year, Finland ranked #1 in EU. And also one of the things that was very good to see there was that when we look at the younger generation, the women and men in the age categories from 16 to 24, the women's above basic digital skills were actually higher, quite a lot higher than men's. And so this seems that we are at least progressing there. In Finland, we also can say that Finnish women are economically independent, and I myself, of course, feel very privileged that I have been very free to choose and decide how I live my life, what I study, what career to choose, and really to construct my own path in life, and very feel appreciate this a lot and feel very privileged in this sense. But as I already mentioned last time we met, the issue that we have not managed to solve yet is the gender pay gap, and unfortunately this is something that is still higher in Finland than average EU. And mainly I think we heard that there are many reasons for pay gap issue, but we have identified one main reason in Finland being that we have still one of the most segregated labor markets in the EU. And this is an issue that we are now very much putting effort to change this, and things that we are doing include gender-neutral students' career counseling at schools, and of course the challenge is huge, and we can see that it's evident that the girls do not choose their careers primarily on the basis of financial and material thoughts or pay gap, and they are not even aware of them at some point, and there is a lot of support needed. Another thing on equal pay for same work and for work of same value is a legal obligation in Finland. Promoting gender equality will be one of horizontal priorities during our incoming EU presidency, and we are already, as part of the trio presidency together with Romania and then Croatia following us, very much committed to gender issues. That was part of our trio program, and we will be doing actions together next week in the Employment and Social Council on this issue. And we also very much support Romanian presidency in its effort to achieve finally a compromise on women on company boards directive. Finland has been supporting this directive since the Commission gave it out in November 2012. So it's a long overdue that we will really get a compromise on that, and then whatever is left on the table for us to take over from the Romanians, we will of course do our part and continue from that. Otherwise, given the particular time and policy context of our presidency, which will be just after the European Parliament elections, and when we are having new institutions in EU, we also have the opportunity to feed into the debate on EU's future actions, strategies and policies on gender issues as well. And we really think that this is a great opportunity that we need to take up. Preliminary thoughts we have now is that we might look at the gender equality and policies from the perspective of economic growth and security. In particular, we try to find ways to ensure that economic growth largely contributes to well-being and higher employment rates of men and women. And well-being would then, in its turn, be a solid basis for economic growth and productivity. And it would feed in trust, stability, and a legitimacy of our societies also at the EU level, and we call this approach economy of well-being. We will also celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Beijing Platform for Gender Action during our presidency, and this leads us naturally to assess progress made in the field of gender equality during the past 25 years and to discuss future orientations of EU gender equality policies for the next 5 years. We will go through all 12 critical areas of the Beijing Platform, and one of them is women and the economy. And we will do our best to make these things to progress, and this is an issue that will be very close to our hearts during our presidency. Thank you very much.